Hey guys, how's it going? This is G, and welcome to Cheeky Podcast with the Lads. This is a podcast me and a couple of my buddies have decided to go ahead and run with, and I'll let you meet them right away.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm joined with.
Hi, I'm Nick.
All right.
All right.
Now that that's out of the way,
So, I guess we can introduce the listeners to why we started this. We just love football.
yeah,
And we usually, after our games, we just love talking about what's going on around all the leagues and after our games. So we decided, why not record it? Why not? You see, let's see where we can go with it.
maybe it will be interesting. Let's find out.
It's interesting to us. Let's see if it's interesting to other people.
All right. So where should we start?
There's a lot. Well, let's go into a further introduction
We've got
of
topics,
ourselves.
people.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. First episode
We are
here.
prepared.
I guess I can start with just a little bit about myself. My name is Carlo. Everyone calls me G.
We call him G.
You better call him G.
I am an
Call him G.
Arsenal fan. Sadly, looks like fourth place this year is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gooners everywhere.
You can't be that sad. It's happened so many times.
We'll be sad together.
You know what? As long as City doesn't win the Champions League, and then, because then they'll have that over us, and
Yeah.
that's about all I care about. So yeah. What about you, Kevin?
I'm Kevin. We should also mention that we're all on the same Sunday League team
Yes, Sunday, Saturday.
on a
league.
Saturday.
It's bad.
I'm our second leading scorer
Second
after
leading
today.
scorer. He was first.
I was.
Were you first?
Yeah, because
Because last week.
no, I was tied actually because Patrick would have won
Right.
it. Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
I'm a Chelsea fan, big Chelsea fan, and I also like the New York Red Bulls, who's our local team around here.
Yep. Good old Red Bulls. What about you, Nick?
Oh God. Don't watch.
He's not
it
ready
as-
for this.
I'm not prepared.
Give him time.
Man is so unprepared.
Arsenal fan. Sadly, don't watch as much as I really should.
You don't watch enough.
I don't
At all.
That's
He's
it.
our special guest.
I'm just here for the colorful commentary.
Yeah.
That's really
Yep.
it.
Literally colorful because he's been burning up after today's game. Got the ginger tone to him.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay because we didn't lose.
We didn't lose. We
right?
did.
That's a
We
plus.
didn't
That's a plus.
lose. Got that 8-5 win. Vital win.
Sadly, I let in 5, so there we go.
No, it's okay.
Hey, you know what? It all counts the same.
So
What
let's-
is goal differential anyways?
What's new in the Premier League?
Premier League. Well, sadly for you, Kevin, wasn't the greatest of days for Chelsea. Hasn't been all year, but brighter days ahead, definitely.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, if I got a prediction going on.
Okay,
If
what you got?
if Conte comes in,
You're supposed to.
yes.
Right.
I mean, when he comes in.
Okay.
If it doesn't go plan, we're stuck in a mid-table club. I don't.
I think there's too much money there.
It's hard for. When we won the league, it's easy to get names in.
Right.
Everyone wants to be on the team that's, doing
Right,
really
that's the
successful.
champion.
Yeah.
I'm sure Leicester's going to get lots of players in this summer, or at
Yeah.
least bigger players.
This is going to be a big summer for us, and the only thing convincing players to come is money at this point.
Right.
Because no one, imagine not, would you want to play for Chelsea right now?
I mean, there's no Champions League.
Yeah,
That's a big draw right there.
It's a bad spot to be in. So I'm really excited to see what happens this summer, and I think it's going to be crucial because if not, if we're just only convincing average players to come, then
Right.
we might just stay average.
That
Right.
you're probably just relying on your
Even still,
younger
though.
members on the team.
Yeah.
Right,
I
and
mean-
there are a lot of good.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Chelsea's youth squad is
One of the best
insane. They
in
just,
the
I
world.
think, won their second, whatever they won.
They won the Youth Champions League last year, and I think they're in the final right now.
Right. So I mean, there's a bright future there. It just
Very
depends if
bright.
they're going to get some playing time. Chelsea's a big club, so maybe if it doesn't go too well in attracting players, they might be able to incorporate some of those younger names in.
As an Arsenal fan, who would you bring in
Oh
to
man,
Chelsea? Or who?
who would I bring into Chelsea or to Arsenal? Or
To
both?
Chelsea.
To Chelsea.
Who would you get rid of? Let's start with that.
Well, I love John Terry.
From an outside
Let me
point
just
of
say
view.
that I love John Terry's game. Besides his, personal life and whatever he does.
No, let's not mention it.
Let's not talk about that. Everyone
skip
knows
over
about that. He's a great player. I like Zuma. I like Cahill. I don't know though if that's. I mean, that's good if you're going to be a mid-table club, and it was great last year. But I feel like you need some type of captaincy, someone who's going to
A new John Terry.
gather the troops
who's
around.
Going to take over after John Terry?
Right? Miazga looks pretty good, but he's young. He's not going to be the one who's leading the team out there.
Even Zuma, our next best, in my opinion, our next best center back.
Oh, he was playing amazing.
Very young.
Injury.
Right.
Very young.
Right. And he's played in Toulouse in France, top tier club right there. And he had a loan there once he was bought from Chelsea. So he's a good player, has some experience, although it is the French league, so there's not much going on there besides PSG.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel just fortifying the defense, they'll get goals. You would think so.
Yeah, let's hope. Fingers crossed.
You would hope, yeah.
To kind of go off of that, though, when Zuma comes back off injury, I feel like defense will be a lot better than it currently is. I feel like maybe.
Where do you like Azpilicueta?
midfield.
Do you like him at the right? Or do you like him on the left?
See, he's been playing because we've been having a lot of center back injuries. So Ivanovic is pushed in to center back. Azpilicueta's been playing right back, and Baba Rahman's been playing left. That back line has been abysmal, and it's hard to say if I like him at right back because I've never really seen.
Do you still like Ivanovic at right back? Do you
No.
think it's time for someone else?
I think it's time for someone else. I love Ivanovic. He's a great player.
Do you kind of think Felipe Luis was let go a little early? Because he only had only one season there.
I do. I think even when he was with us, he was very solid. There's, I think, him being such a high quality player, not starting.
Right.
Yeah, but if it were up to me, it'd be Felipe Luis Luis left back, Azpilicueta right back. I think that makes so much sense. But
And then Cahill, Zuma, if John Terry leaves.
yeah,
Which he's supposed to.
Cahill Zuma can do it.
Right. And I think, what's his face? Zuma is still very young. Azpilicueta's not old. He's mid-20s.
Yeah.
So, you got something to build upon for the future there. Luis is in his 30s. Sadly, he's not there anymore.
Right.
And he actually put in a good contribution in that Champions League game against Barcelona.
He did.
How about that?
He did. I'm really happy for Atletico because Luis is there.
Yeah.
Torres is there.
Torres is there. Courtois
Making
played
some
there.
magic.
Yeah.
Courtois was there. So I have. It's kind of like a brother club in a way.
Like Vitesse. Not quite as good as Vitesse, like the connection, but there's a connection there.
Let's not talk about Vitesse. And Antoine Griezmann's one of my favorite players. So
Yeah, he's class.
he's
Definitely.
yeah. Whenever they're doing well, I'm happy.
It's weird. No one really gives Atletico their due. They are the stingiest defense in the world.
Yeah.
I don't care anybody. Like their
Godin's wall.
defense. Jimenez, he's from Uruguay, I believe, and so is Godin actually. So great for Uruguay.
Yeah.
If they need for their tournaments over the summer, they've got a great defense. And what's his name? Vieto. He's a very good player they got from Villarreal, Argentine, and they've just got a great team. I've actually been dreaming of watching Bayern Munich and Atletico. I'm like, I hope they get together in the Champions League. I hope they get together.
Honestly.
And the last couple of years, they made it pretty deep into the tournament. But finally, this year we got Bayern Munich, who've basically got the league in hand. Dortmund's up there, but it'll be tough for them after a draw last week, I believe they had. But just a very high potent offense, very, very good defense.
Right.
Defense apparently wins titles.
It does.
It'll be interesting to see. 2 legs, anything can happen.
Yeah. The performances Wes Morgan and Huth have been putting in have been amazing.
And people were writing those 2 off. Huth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Robert Huth. It's Stoke City.
Yeah, it's all about confidence and
right.
your will to do it. And I think most players can do it.
Players need to buy into it.
Yeah.
If players buy in, you've already won half the
It's
battle.
a lot about confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the other Champions League game? What do you think?
I'm very excited for that. I haven't been this excited for Champions League in a while. I think
Yeah.
mainly because Barca's not in it.
Oh,
It's just nice to see other teams there. Man City don't usually get there. Atletico is pretty, not, unheard of, but it's really cool that they're there as well.
Right, instead of Barcelona. It's usually Madrid, Barca, Bayern, and then there's that X factor. You just never know who it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy it's City. Like, usually I root for Arsenal. We make it out, in that first round of a 16 every year, may I add. but then I root for Keylor Navas. Because, my boy, the Costa Rican, tearing it up at Real Madrid. I like Bayern Munich. Hate Pep Guardiola, as I'm sure listeners will find out very soon. I have an agenda against him. He's a fraud. But besides that, I usually like Bayern Munich. I love their game. Lots of their players are in the German national team, which I do support, which is why I like Bayern Munich a lot. And then
I think as even though I'm a Chelsea fan, you guys are Arsenal fans.
I want City to win.
We're rooting for City because it makes us look better.
Right. Everyone's like, oh, should the English Premier League
clubs
lose a bid for the Champions League? They're not making it deep into the tournament. And they just knocked off PSG. PSG was my dark horse to win it.
Right.
Kevin Trapp's a phenomenal keeper. I thought they were going to go deep into the tournament. They did. But Manchester City knocked them off. And, De Bruyne is just leading that team. I'm sure as a Chelsea fan, you kind of wish he was leading Chelsea. But either way.
I still like De Bruyne.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
No hard feelings. I didn't agree with the a lot of transfers going on.
Yeah. There's been some transfers that have been, too soon. Not enough time.
Yeah.
Schürrle, De Bruyne, just to name a few.
Yeah. Don't say any more. I might cry. I don't know if you remember, but even when De Bruyne was at Chelsea, I was obsessed with him. Yeah, he was one of my favorite players there.
And you know what? I think he has a great chance to win the Euros with Belgium. Belgium right now, if they can get Eden Hazard, who had a pretty good World Cup, I would say. If we can get that Eden Hazard with this Kevin De Bruyne, you still got Courtois, Alderweireld, phenomenal defender.
Oh my God, yeah, they're gonna kill it.
They should kill it. I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to write Germany off because they're Germany, but defensively, I think they lack, especially with Boateng coming back from injury. You just never know.
Well, in the same sense, Belgium's their forwards aren't looking that great. Hazard.
When in form,
they're probably the names on the sheet. They're probably one of the best.
Right, they speak for themselves.
But Hazard's not in form. Lukaku's extremely slowed down. I know that because of fantasy.
He's up he's up and down. He'll go 5 games scoring and then he'll go 10 without scoring.
But I'm dropping him after this week.
Are you?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I think I dropped him for Harry Kane. I saved up a transfer so I can get rid of Dele Alli. It's too many Spurs players.
Everton had in fantasy they had a midweek game last week, and then their weekend game. So 2 games. And then your striker's playing 2 games. You got to give him the captaincy.
Oh, of course.
I got 8 points.
Oh, man.
Lukaku just did nothing at all. So
and you never know. You never really know. There's players like that. That's why I got rid of Giroud. Once Welbeck came back, I'm like, he's not coming back. Giroud's gonna sit on the bench. He's probably gonna rot there because he's not gonna get playing time.
Yeah, Welbeck is he's an enigma.
Like
He's an enigma.
He's a very uncomposed, yet he's been scoring almost every week. But I love his work rate. He's not what we need. Maybe as a sub, maybe play him on the wing.
He's great impact sub right now.
But we need world class, and that's not cutting it right now.
Speaking of world class, great segue, huh? Let's talk about our BPL team of the season.
Team of the season. Why don't we let Nick go first?
How about we let Kevin go?
I want to note that me and G both have note sections in our phone, correct?
Mine is on my laptop, but I know it off the top of my head.
He studied.
I just can't look at the stats.
He studied his team. I've got notes. We both thought it out pretty well. Nick is just here.
Nick just kind of joined along.
I am here for the colorful commentary.
He's here for the
colorful
colorful commentary, and that's all we can really ask for.
So, do you not want to start? You want me and G to go first
Please,
while
please.
you
I'll
think
say
of
my
your.
2 cents every once in a
Okay.
while. I have a couple players.
Okay.
I have a couple.
I think it's obvious who our strikers are. I think you
There
might.
you go with 2 of them.
It may be unanimous.
Was it Vardy having a party?
It's chat shit get banged
Of course.
Oh man, of course.
with the Hurricane.
With the Hurricane, he's a gooner. He was a gooner.
He was a gooner.
Makes me feel a little better about myself.
Vardy and Kane. I've got Payet, Ozil, Dele Alli, and Mahrez. I think
I think
that's where
we've got the same 3 except for Dele Alli. I feel like, and believe me, he would get in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I didn't think about any honorable mentions, but I definitely thought about putting him in that conversation of. I just feel like I think he has like almost 10 goals, maybe 8, maybe 9, and he definitely contributes a lot to that team. I mean, Dembele plays in there; he does a really good job as well. Belgium,
Out of nowhere too.
yeah.
Dembele was kind of
Dembele and Chadley were both like, eh.
yeah, they were really And then Chadley last season was great.
Oh yeah,
It hasn't turned out this one, but
even Lamella, just Spurs in general.
yeah,
have
they're
all
like
stepped up.
they're really weird.
They're players that like a couple years ago, it's like, oh, flops.
Yeah.
Spent all this money and they're just flops. But Dele, I just feel like he doesn't do as much for Tottenham as Conte does for Leicester.
Yeah.
N'Golo Conte is just an engine. He's like mini Yaya because he's not as big.
Right.
But yeah, he just recycles the ball to Mahrez, to Vardy, to Albrighton, putting in the crosses, and they just work together very well.
Yeah. No, he's Conte is the top of my honorable mentions.
Right. So I mean, we swapped
it was
those
him.
two.
It was him or Ali.
Right.
But I just think the age he's at to have that much of
absolutely.
an influence on your team is like it's amazing.
He
And
was playing for MK Dons last year.
MK Dons.
MK Dons. And I believe, I'm not sure if he was on this team. I don't know if it was 2 years ago or last year. That MK Dons team, that beat Manchester United.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that was, I mean, I don't remember watching the game. I remember football Twitter not letting United live it down ever because it's Milton Keynes Dons.
Right.
But he was on that team, I think. So maybe that's why. He's a big talent,
He's great.
and he's only 20.
Yeah.
So very earned the cap that he got for England.
And I understand giving it to Conte too. I
Right.
respect the hustle. He's been great.
Yeah. He's kind of like what we had in Coquelin last year, where he kind of came out of nowhere, just took everything in the midfield, gave it to our playmakers, and we're like, wow, this
Right.
kid is great.
Where did he come from? Yeah.
Yeah, where did he come from? But now it's with a player for Leicester doing it for an entire season, and he's getting very good recognition, which he deserves. Definitely.
Right. And also, Dele Alli, I think he would have a Premier League medal if it weren't for Leicester.
If it weren't for Leicester.
Tottenham they're great this season, but they're just not Leicester. Simply not.
I don't forget how many games Leicester lost. I think it was 3. 2 of them to Arsenal. Just thought I'd put that in there. But
Wow.
but yeah, like Tottenham, no matter who they're playing, I'm like, oh, Tottenham's gonna win. Leicester, it's still Leicester. So you're like, oh, there's a chance they might lose.
Yeah.
They'll drop a game, but they don't.
You're always trying to doubt them.
So with Tottenham, it's like, all right, you've been a big-ish club for the good half of the last 10 years. So you could see, the big team mentality. Oh, they'll go out there and knock it out, especially with a team that they have and a great coach in Pochettino who might get my coach of the year. I don't know. Ranieri's doing a hell of a job, too.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the league, I think.
I mean, Tottenham's great, but they do have a lot of talent.
Absolutely.
Leicester out of no. I mean,
Leicester
not to say they don't, but
yeah, but it's lesser players,
they're
small money
with their
players,
budget, yeah,
playing their hearts out week in, week out.
It's amazing.
And they don't play many players.
I'll tell my kids about this Leicester team.
Oh, as long as they don't bottle it. There's still time. It doesn't look like
time.
it's going to happen, but if it happens,
How many more games do they need to clinch the
I
title
think
itself?
3 more wins, something around
3.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it was 3, and they've got the game tomorrow, right?
that. Yeah.
It's after tomorrow. It might be.
I mean, West Ham is a good team, very good team. Andy Carroll broke my heart last week.
Yeah.
he's broken my heart a few times too.
Freaking Andy Carroll. He's not good.
Can we title that our first episode, Freaking Andy Carroll?
Freaking Andy Carroll. My goodness. I'm sure a couple of my Liverpool friends were very happy when Andy Carroll scored those goals, but you know what? Liverpool is still Liverpool. Congratulations on Liverpool, by the way, for doing one of the most improbable comebacks I have ever seen.
That was a fantastic game.
My friend Josh, Liverpool fan, said that was the greatest Liverpool game he has ever seen. I don't know if he watched live the final against Milan, because I mean that's pretty hard to beat, but that's probably up there. I mean it's Europa League, so but it's still
Right.
Borussia Dortmund,
Right.
and that's still a great
fantastic
team.
Dortmund team.
And I mean you got your two defenders scoring there at the end. That's just clutch. That's just giving it your all, because you know that's all you have to play for the rest of the season.
Speaking of defenders, another great segue, may I add. On to my defenders.
Right.
I've got Toby
Absolutely.
out of the world.
He is phenomenal. I feel like if he didn't get injured in that Champions League final against Madrid, I mean, it was kind of just like a whole game and overtime of playing, but yeah, that game got out of hand once the players started lacking fitness.
Right,
He is phenomenal.
He's great, yeah. I've got Wes Morgan.
Wes Morgan, my center back spot, I gave it to Laurent Koscielny. It might be because I'm an Arsenal fan. Probably is. But, yeah, I feel like if Koscielny wasn't there, we have Mertesacker.
Yeah, no, like,
We have Gabriel.
yeah.
And, I mean, the man scores important goals. I mean, if we lose that game last week against West Ham, that's season over. It already is season over, to be fair. But at least we don't finish, like, fourth. I'm hoping we don't finish fourth.
Right.
He scores important goals. It's been very well, noted that he scores important goals.
Totally. Koscielny is, like, a great player. As a Chelsea fan, you don't hear that much. But, like...
You hear Gabriel being a maniac. You hear Mertesacker being slow. You never hear anything about Koscielny except,
He's just there.
He's quiet, but, like,
consistent.
he's a great player. He's fantastic. I'd take him at Chelsea any day.
Yeah.
My phone went dark, but onto my fullbacks, I've got Christian Fuchs.
Christian Fuchs. I am huge on Nacho Monreal. In my opinion, Nacho Monreal is the best player Arsenal have this year. Better than Mesut.
Interesting.
See,
That's a big statement.
I was going to say it. I was going to question that. Yeah.
No one looks at Nacho. I mean, in my opinion. But Nacho, week in, week out, I mean, the man set down Gibbs, basically ended his career. Nacho just comes in.
Thank God.
Yeah, thankfully. Shout out to Gibbs for scoring on Tottenham. That was a very important goal, so we don't lose. We drew against them twice this year, but I'll take that over a loss. Thank you, Gibbs. But Nacho, I was like, Nacho's definitely my left back. I took a look at Moreno. I like Moreno's game, but he's iffy defending.
He's iffy.
But I took a look at that, and then I decided to take a look at Christian Fuchs. And statistically, just as good as Nacho defending, better going forward, just stat-wise. Now, I mean, I don't watch enough Leicester City games to be able to tell you the intangibles and what he does for them. I just kind of picture Conte, Mahrez, Vardy, because, that's what everyone thinks when they think of Leicester now. But just knowing that the stats are that similar, I can only imagine what he does for them.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
I mean, it's like you've watched him without watching him,
right?
Because if his stats are
just as good as the guy who I thought was a clear runaway winner, I'm like, I'll give it to him.
You're right.
I'll give him that one.
I also picked Hector Bellerin.
Hector Bellerin. I decided to go with Kyle Walker.
Oh, David De Gea, by the way, as my keeper.
David De Gea. I gave it to.
He's won games by himself.
Yeah. I heard on this other podcast they called him the swastika keeper, which is very interesting. Controversial for sure. But it was the way he goes down and kind of like shapes his body, one knee down, one arm up.
I know. I know the stance.
It's a very, very, it gets the job done. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
David De Gea, I can see why you put him there. I don't know if United fans would have wanted Keylor Navas, but I think it's worked out for both Madrid and Manchester United. Both keepers have been tearing it up for both teams.
Right, yeah.
My right back, I gave it to Kyle Walker. As much as I hate him because he's Tottenham player. And I usually hate Tottenham players.
You
But
can't hate this Tottenham team.
this squad-
they're great.
Even Danny Rose, I like. Like, they just get the job done.
They do.
Hopefully, England can do something in the tournament. Not that I support England, but it's a shame watching their
It's
years after
it's
year.
just sad.
They can't win anything with all these big players and people claiming, oh, the Premier League's the best league in the world, and we can't, go out there and win the Euros.
What happened to Sterling?
Raheem,
Where is this man? Where did he go?
well, after he took his talents away from Liverpool
His, air quotes.
and his
He was
the
carried by
Raheem
Suarez.
Sterling school of dribbling, where he just dribbles out of bounds, I haven't really heard too much from him. He's playing Champions League football still. I'll give him that. I don't know how much
Well,
he had to do with that.
He just never contributes.
Yeah. I mean, Samir Nasri's back,
He's
been playing.
He's balling too.
Yeah, with his blue hair. He's an interesting lad.
blue?
I think it was blue for a while.
It's blonde now.
Whatever works for him. He scored that goal, didn't he, against PSG? Wasn't it Nasri?
It was. I think
There
so.
you go. Arsenal man doing it again. But my keeper I ended up going with, I kind of couldn't decide. There was just too much stats and stuff I looked to. I said, I'll give it to whoever finishes higher in the league. So either Lloris or Czech. Because Czech, as like you said, De Gea's won games for United. Czech has...
Totally, yeah.
Arsenal have no spine without Czech.
I was thinking about Hugo Lloris, but I just think the defense
They have a defense.
the defense in front of them take care of most of his problems.
Right. He shouldn't have to do as much.
Arsenal's back line isn't the best, but they get jobs done. I think Man United's back
Oh,
line
my. It's just...
for David Gea to deal with that every week.
I mean, who do you got back there? Blind, Rojo,
Oh,
Smalling,
they're not terrible. They just don't work.
Fosu Mensah. You remember him? He picked up an out last week. It's just names that you don't... It's academy players. It really is just academy players.
Yeah, it's better than it was.
Darmian.
He's been horrible.
I was
He's been
watching
horrible.
that game. Fosu Mensah played well, and then Darmian comes on, and I think all the goals came in from his side. I'm like, man, he is bad.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And his
you're
beard. Can we talk
100%.
about his chops? Has anybody seen those?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
I was.
Bringing back the chops. Is that it?
He's trying. He's trying.
They weren't connected to his hair up here, and they weren't connected to his. I don't think he has a beard. Actually, it was just bad. Look it up, please do, listeners. Please look up the chops of Darmian.
Yeah, I was actually really excited for when Darmian came to the league.
I don't know too much about
There's
him.
not many Italians in the league.
Yeah, that's right.
Me being partially Italian, I was like, hey, look, there you go.
I have something to
There you
look
go.
forward to. Actually, watch some United games.
He was praised.
He was.
in the beginning, and
I didn't understand why he was praised because I feel like no one watches Torino games. No one watches Serie A in general.
right.
So I was like, I'm not sure if people actually know who he is.
No, it's mainly Manchester United fans going, "Oh, we're gonna be
win the
great
league."
now. We've got Darmian."
Right. And I mean, he is an international. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I mean, he's he's all right for what he's worth, but I guess no, he was definitely overhyped by the fans.
And that seems to happen a lot with big players. Or not big players, but big clubs bringing in players that
Right.
no one really knows about. I mean, Yaya Sanogo. People were like, oh, get him in the game.
Right.
Now he's been on loan to Charlton, where we bring back players from. I think, who was it that went to Charlton?
Is that your Vitesse?
That might be Arsenal's Vitesse. It was... I'm not sure if Carl Jenkinson was bought from there. I believe he was. Then we sent Coquelin there. He turned out pretty good. We can only hope Yaya Sanogo pulls a Coquelin, because the man does not deserve to be on an Arsenal pitch.
No,
It's bad.
not right now at least. But
I'll take Giroud over him. I'll say that much. I'll take Joe Campbell over him. Love me some Joe Campbell. Love me some Joe Campbell.
Joel Campbell.
Oh man.
so we've heard my team. We've heard a bit of yours. Nick,
Nick, you've been
got?
stalling for a while. What do you
All right.
got for us?
how about since a lot of the team of the seasons are pretty.
I mean, the front four are
it's-
probably very similar
it's
for most people.
pretty similar. Do you have any players who weren't mentioned that you would put in your team of the season?
I was looking up the stats before we even recorded any of this, and the clean has the most clean sheets is the Leicester.
Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Casper Schmeichel.
Casper
And he-
Schmeichel. I took a look at him, but I feel like, and I can understand why you would put him there.
Oh, totally, yeah.
He's got clean sheets
He's in
left
my
and right.
honorable. He's number 2 in the honorable mentions.
I mentioned Koscielny for
Okay.
center back. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But no, like a lot of like we said, like Mahrez, midfield. I put Ozil in the midfield because anytime I watch an Arsenal game,
Oh yeah, we've
just-
got
I
him.
always-
We've got him there too.
yeah, it's just I always just look for him and try and follow where he goes. Just kind of want to like see what he does with it
Mhm.
because anytime it's like he'll do something
Last week-
crazy.
Last week, that West Ham Arsenal game, it was like, who's going to do what? Is
Yeah.
Payet going to
versus
take over?
Versus Ozil.
Is Otto going to, do something crazy? And in the end, Otto ended up scoring. Payet was
I
the
don't
driving
think-
force.
I think he had an assist, but
He didn't do as much, but he was the driving force in
Oh,
that
yeah.
team. Besides
Yeah.
Andy Carroll, who scored 3 times. but he was the driving force. He just like, if it comes to him, something special might happen.
Oh yeah,
Right.
And that's why you just never know. He's one of those players. And I'm happy he's in the Premier League. We don't get to watch much of him. Of where was he at Marseille before? Now it's like, oh man, we've got Payet.
yeah,
So it's like
That's
another
the
player
thing.
to
We've
look
got
forward
Payet.
to. Yeah.
yeah, totally. But I think it's about time to wrap this up. Yeah,
I would say thank you for anyone that's going to listen to this, and hopefully
thanks
you
for
come
sticking
back,
around.
Yeah.
listen to our random conversations that go nowhere. We
Yeah,
just talk and talk. but
there's no path. They just go.
yeah, we eventually get to the point, but it takes a while.
Right.
But yeah, thank you for everyone who's gonna give this a listen. Tell your friends,
Tell your friends.
tell your friends, tell your family.
Tell the
I'm
fam.
sure they all care about football. And yeah, we'll try to provide more episodes and more episodes as the league dwindles down. Europa League, Copa America, Centenario.
It's gonna get exciting.
It's gonna be lit,
It's gonna be lit, as the kids say.
as the kids say.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks guys.
All right. See ya. Nick, say goodbye.
Bye.
Be polite, asshole.